I cannot see him. When he moves, I do not see him. If he snatches someone in death, who can stop him? Who dares to ask, what are you doing? And God does not restrain his anger. Even the monsters of the sea are crushed beneath his feet. Is all this true?
Yeah.
It's all true, yes. Isn't it all true? But what is he applying this to? What is Job saying? Look at the language. What is Job getting at? Job's been accused, and now what's he doing? He's moving into an accusation toward God. See, what Job is doing is this. God, you are unjust. God, you are not treating me properly. He's making a shift. If you'd shift in your pages here, and you'd go to the next section where it says chapter 9 and 10, it says, in his second reply, Job was beginning to depart from the anointing by attacking God's character. Months have dragged on since the trial began. He has managed to keep his spirit under control. Now discouragement and hardness have set in, and he begins to charge the Lord with irresponsible. He says, he multiplies my wounds without a cause. He destroyeth the blameless. If the scourge slays suddenly, he will laugh at the calamity of the innocent. Is that true about God's character? But doesn't it seem like it sometimes? Doesn't it seem like God doesn't care? When I look at the world, see, the reason that the world has this accusation against God is that they see the calamities that are out there. They see the 750,000 in Rome, the African country. Yeah, thank you. 750,000. Yeah, but we see the injustice, and because we don't know the Holy One, they from a distance begin to make accusation. Now, Job knew him. But now Job, because of the injustice that Job was now feeling, he begins to turn and make accusations against God. But see, the reason that I think Job is important for all of us, so that we get a bigger picture that God was not distracted about the whole thing. He was observing all that was taken care of. See, God is still the God of the sparrow. God is still the God that numbers our hair. God is still the one who knows us intimately. The reason that he even uses the sparrow is because if you see a flock of sparrows, you look at them and you go, there's no distinction. There's no distinction between them. But every wing on every sparrow is different, and there's thousands of them out there. So it's all about that whole process. It says Job was allowing everything he was feeling to come out. It was obvious to his friends that what Job was now saying about God was very wrong. Now think about that and be Job's friend for a moment. Think about listening to someone's going through and they begin to turn and make accusations toward God. And they begin to make accusations towards others. What is our natural response? To try to correct it. And what is Job trying to show us? Job is trying to show us, get into their skin. Walk alongside of these people in pain. Now, we do this with the world because we've all been around bitter, wounded people. We've been around them, and how do you correct a bitter, wounded person? You don't, that's what I'm saying. You don't. You want your head bitten off? You want, they're blind, they're bitter, they're wounded, and they're hurting. But how do you respond to a bitter, wounded person?
With love.
With love, but how do you respond to a bitter person with love? They're not going to love you back, are they? What do? How do you respond to them? And so this is part of the picture that we're getting. Let's continue. In the paper, it was obvious to his friends that Job was now saying about what he was now saying about God was very wrong. However, they did not have a solution to his situation. Their diagnosis and attitude had not been right. They had misjudged Job in his circumstances. They had closed Job's heart to the point that he looked upon them as enemies. Now he was incapable of receiving any more of their advice. In 9:4, it says the answer is near us. In 9:4, Job says, who hath hardened himself against him?